Hey there, before we get into the session itself, there's one thing that I wanted to mention, in case someone notices or realizes that there's a difference in party's composition, namely that we are missing someone. Yes, the matter has been handled behind the scenes, in private, and it was my decision in the end to part ways with one of the players. Reasons why, as I said, they are private and was again handled privately. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Sometimes it do be that way. Yeah. Sorry, this is not the most clear or clean delivery, but I recently woke up from a nap and yeah, I don't believe there's anything else I need to say, and I will not be saying anything more on that matter in public space. Public in air quotes. And with that said, let's get on with the session, shall we? Alright, so now that we are all here, well, technically speaking, almost all, but I did speak with Derp earlier today. Well, today for me, and he was not sure that he will be able to make it, so in case he shows up, then he will just join us in the meantime.
Yep.
I think that's the way to go at it. Yeah, if you didn't see in the Discord chat, one of the new modules I'm using, in case the new look, like when you open a handout, it's not good. Like you can still just right click on a specific handout and just use the option to open outside enhanced browser, and that will open it normally as before.
I see.
Alright.
It does look different.
Then it's like, depending what you want, like kinda like even if the new enhanced look doesn't like sometimes not working for me, it does have, the module has like one or two nice functionalities that help me out. Like for example, it shows me without me having to go into like visibility settings, it like shows me which handouts, like which pages are specifically revealed to specific players instead of everyone. Small quality of life, but that up. If I remember correctly, the literally last thing that we're doing and where the party is moving out is the party going using the fast travel point to venture again into the Warforged scrapyard, and from there begin their trek. Towards the domain of madness. And oh, actually, I apologize for this being chaotic, but my brain is scattered. Just to double check, did everyone pick their magic item reward?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, but I'll do that now.
Actually, as a reminder, let me show the... Yeah, the session 22 loot page should be visible.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I asked is that for those players that have already approved their item choice, my question is, do you want to share with the party what you have, or do you want to keep it as a nice surprise in case you use it during the session?
Give me 1 sec.
Hi, sorry, I'm being actively attacked by my cat. I want to keep mine a secret for now until we're in combat.
That's perfectly alright. Actually, Cap, have you picked your magic item of choice?
Oh, I need to do that. I forgot. I was also going to present that to you.
Alright.
I believe this is what I've decided upon. And dropping it in the chat. Discord. Why?
You went to ask about magic items, and I was like, "Fuck."
I selected mine. Callie helped me pick it out.
Yes.
I went with the
got-
mortar.
Yeah. I got the Darren's Instant Fortress. Which must be- One where I get to make a little fort.
Instant cast.
You can also hit people with the fort, which is very nice. You can just go right on top of them. Get up.
Okay, that item is cool. Although, the mortar reminds me of the talk we had at the Warhammer game in the morning. Because one of the players that plays an Ogren will try to get an actual fucking mortar, but because it's a Warhammer thing, it's like something that weighs like 100 kilograms. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, sure, you can try.
You could try.
You're welcome to try.
Yeah. Don't
Good
think
fucking
you'll
luck with
succeed,
I
but
mean, to be fair, Ogryns, like, if they were built good enough, they can carry like that much, but it's
it ain't easy.
well, it's Warhammer.
Yeah.
So yeah, Capia, you are good with that. Museum
Oh, guys, I got a mortar.
I have a giant adamantine building I can throw at people, dude.
I mean,
do you
obviously,
mean
it's not always giant because
Yeah, I got a tiny one that I can throw at people and make it huge, and then it deals damage in an area. It's great.
right. And for simplicity's sake, generally how I imagine they appeared is that when the Tree of Light was defeated, I mean, the carcass, as I described, was left behind, but also the excess of magical energy, the power of light, dissipated from the Tree of Light and then coalesced into something else. And to be more specific, the items that you've managed to find. Perhaps responding to your subconscious or will of trying to get something more useful in your immediate adventures. In the meantime, if you will have the item in question, the idea, you can just throw a link my way. Monk, I will just take a glance at it, and if it's
I'm probably
fine,
not
I'm
gonna do
gonna.
anything crazy because I don't even want anything that you need to attune with.
Go to bed.
So I've got some good attunement items already.
Same, I was like, well, I can't unattune. Ah.
Yeah, I kind of like everything I'm already attuned to.
Fully now.
And I can't upgrade any of them to their like higher rarity variants yet, so I'll just get something else.
Alright. So armed with new tools and a couple extra healing potions, the party sets out City of Hope, traveling through one of the previous plants and reaching the the Warforge scrapyard. The seat itself, the plant being located deeper underground, as in more in the abandoned, desolate basement of one of the factories of this heavy industrial complex. Now, only after several days since you last were here, since you planted the seed, having more green, vibrant glow to it, as I almost fucking said truth, as roots and branches and leaves spread around in a web of nature that started to encompass the area, primarily not to be super visible, but to keep this area suspended, no, rather supported, not suspended, supported, to ensure that this abandoned building in the future just doesn't collapse on itself. And so far it seems like it's doing its job when you leave the immediate safe haven, as you essentially the growth cuts off at the boundaries of the basement itself, and where once there would be a door, now there is like massive thick overgrowth, which swiftly opens up as you get close. That the roots and branches and vines just shift to the sides, revealing the way. When you cross, the pathway, the nature's door closes behind you. And honestly, looking from outside perspective, if you didn't know what we are looking for, it is pretty solidly camouflaged.
Nice.
And further down the line, as of course with care, you scout out the surrounding area, barring an occasional mindless undead, as after all, as long as darkness remains, they are always gonna pop out here and there. But apart from mindless shadows, other incorporeal creatures of the night, there is nothing indicating that any malevolent intelligence was present / visible / interested in this area. So I imagine either not wasting time with the absolute cannon fodder, barring few examples that simply just stumble your way as you continue your journey. You do venture out. Although, I will ask, because technically, well, yeah, the mountains of the domain of madness is the objective. As a reminder, one of the points of interest that were at this heavy industrial complex, there was a destroyed monorail that was leading further down south. I mean, it is going towards the mountains, either way, in that direction, but just wanted to check if you would be actually going along it to try to see where it leads, or just take the most direct, straightforward path to the mountains.
Monorail would probably make it easier.
Yeah.
I
Just
mean, it
because it would be a
doesn't
clear
work.
path. Yeah, it would
Yeah.
just be a cleared path though.
Yeah, I do
Should be
agree with
easier.
this. Alright, seems that we're only ones with an opinion. Let's go.
Let's fucking
Woohoo!
go.
Oh well.
I could just hear my dog freaking out in the background.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you here for a moment because I don't have the good thing set up. Cutting from the prepared. It takes you like a solid pulse, or is it okay? Actually, it takes you between 2 to 3 pulses before you following the monorail, which at some points you notice that the level of destruction is like more intense. Instead of like this structure being just plain damaged, it's straight up like broken, torn to pieces. Like getting it back to full functionality, assuming you would know fully how that technology works, would have been quite a challenge. And then you finally, of course, barring an occasional encounter with, again, still, which, considering how close you are to the domain, you take it as a good sign that you are still only meeting with, well, mindless undead that show no signs of being guided by any like higher intelligence, which, well, the Night Lords would definitely qualify as, or well, the stronger undead, I suppose I should say. Actually, not even undead, because, well, the average, well, the stronger creatures of the night.
Monsters.
Yeah, monsters, beasts, yes. And finally, dealing with occasional easy to dispatch creature or creatures along the way, you arrive at, well, judging from the like entrance at the base of the mountain and some of the rails there, you, or Well, for you that have like above average intelligence, you can like pretty easily deduce that it must be the mine. But of course, as with the monorail, some of the machinery, pretty much all of it, already rusted, like broken, destroyed. Definitely looks advanced. Like, you know that back at your home at the City of Hope, your mines do not have that sort of machinery.
Yet.
Yes.
Can
yeah,
I
keyword
try?
was not.
Can I try to see if? Well, I very much assume it's dwarven technology, but can I try to figure out how old it is in any way?
Well, you can certainly try. And if you essentially wish to inspect the area and try to seek out more knowledge, I guess investigation checks are also possible.
I get advantage on these already, so I'll roll mine separately from yours.
Why is it hidden?
That's a good fucking question. Revealed everyone. Okay.
Stole it. Okay, so would Dolan? Sorry, my brain completely fucked up here. JP, can you remind me what Sasa is like looking for? Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, I just remembered. Like, you wanted to figure out like how old this is.
Mm-hmm.
Would Dolan be trying to confirm the same thing, or? Okay,
That
so
and like any small details, because I have the eyes of minute seeing, so like I can see small details really easily. So if there's anything hidden, that'd be cool.
all right. Okay. Right. So starting with Sasa with a 24. Yeah, considering the level of technology combined with that monorail earlier that leads from the Warfare Scrapyard to here, you can with near certainty conclude that this has been built before the War of Dusk.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, the war that
Yeah.
basically collapsed, swallowed your world into darkness. However, although this is actually a question that I leave to the players, like how do you want to establish the lore, because I didn't set in mind, like, we can go with the classic trope of like, oh yeah, the miners are like the dwarves, that's their thing, but we can also go with something else.
Goblins.
Celestials. Hear me out.
Really big rats.
Really big rats? Skaven? Okay.
No, not Skaven, just big rats.
Not humanoid rats, just actual.
Yeah, actual
rats.
rats. Or bugs. Big bugs.
Those already exist. Krothic. I'm always down for seeing like new aspects of the world. So if you think this is like an opportunity
Three
for
ends.
anything else, I don't think tree people mine very often.
No, they tend not to.
But the
tend
world
to
has
not.
changed.
No longer hippies. They seek the destruction of Earth.
You'll fuck the earth.
The world is corrupted. They seek the destruction of their once sane birth mother.
Alright, calm down.
They mine deep, knowing that we will kill.
I mean, this is what they were doing. Not right now, because this place has been long abandoned and destroyed. So this is like the question of like who was operating this place back when, before your world went to shit, and back when, well, the theocracy was in a full swing. Back when the gods were like had active hand in running things, and most, if not all, the beings here were near zealously following them.
All I can think of are the religion from the Thief games, which are the builders. Like humans. Zealotous humans that love mining.
I will mine because I am human.
And also,
It's children. They yearn for the mines.
Also, it doesn't have to be like a single specific species.
Yeah, I assume it's whoever made the Warforged, because this is kind of near that area.
Actually, I was gonna mention, because one of the, I mean, both of your roles, like, you can also confirm that, oh hey, it's more than likely, like, this monorail has been used as a means of transportation. The mined resource, like, putting it on the transportation wagons / carts, and then quickly moving it to the Warforged factory. And yeah, I mean, we can go with like something like, you know, mix of like dwarves, like pale-skinned humans, due to the like amount of time they work underground. And also with 29 and minute details, by honestly, it's quite a miracle that any sort of records still exist, as this place have been trashed pretty heavily and felt the passage of time. However, you are able to recover scraps, bits and pieces from some of the personal diaries, and especially ledgers that belong to the foreman of this mine complex. And from what you are able to determine... from what you are able to determine... Actually, with 29, you are able to determine two things. One, you know what they... what resource, what mineral they were claiming from this mine.
Oh, nice.
And yes, information to you, yes, it is adamantine. Yes, I know by default, like, it's technically like a star metal, but
We're not exactly on Earth.
yes.
You know, like on Toril, so that doesn't really make
Or
sense.
where the star metal originates from.
Well,
Well, it
Also,
originates
gods
from
could've just put it
space,
there.
so
We are
Gods
in
could've just
space.
Put it there. They made this place
That's
by
not how
hand.
that
They could
works.
have just been like, we put it in the ground.
the corpse of a dead god mined by the clueless.
Yeah, well, it's also what makes up my little cube that I just have. So,
Hmm. The cube.
yeah, my tiny cube.
For time there was the cube.
Yeah, mostly the reason why I was like hesitating was that it like to you as players, you know it's adamantine, but I was thinking that more than likely, like in the papers itself, like they call it a bit differently. Back then they called it a bit differently,
Titanium. Yeah.
but with the I mean, okay.
Hell yeah. What can we call it? We get to make up a word for adamantine.
Calipherite.
No.
No, no. That's a bad name for metal.
Mm,
I'm not gonna think of that right now. That's gonna sidetrack me too much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm going
that's-
to this.
Sidetrack me too
yeah, that's
Oh,
right. I
good
only
job.
like said like, you know, to you as players, you know, like your characters like no it's adamantine, but I'm mostly assuming that they would have been calling it a bit differently back then, especially. Okay, and the second thing, sorry, but my brain is struggling. The second thing that you managed to figure out, especially from the ledgers, this mine was not able to operate for super long before, well, shit went down. Like looking through the papers, like they were only able to conduct like several dozen of transports back and forth.
So there's probably still quite a lot of adamantine still in the mine, is what I'm getting from that.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
And to be fair, that ties into the. To be fair, that was mostly like out of character primer for the players that the world of Eclipse is young and they were not able to completely exploit all the resources before the war happened. So
Forward
in
operating.
RTS terms, there are plenty of resource nodes still to be exploited.
Hell yeah.
Oh, if somehow we
I
manage
know
to
what
find
I
a way
must
to
do.
go.
Exploit.
As the saying goes, we must construct additional pylons. And get these
Let's
resource
construct
nodes.
additional colors.
You don't need to make any new rolls, but on that note, like, would your characters like check just a little bit into the mine itself?
I'll send a little arcane eye because it has unlimited distance. I'm just
Right.
send that shit in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, it also confirms what you found out from papers that the complex, the maze of tunnels is actually not a maze. It's not really expanded. And the like near surface levels, you already see they have already been mined out, and they were in a process of going further down. Again, you find like bits and pieces of destroyed advanced looking machinery, but well, shit happened when they were like in the process of doing that. So yes, there are more riches and minerals awaiting. You are sure of it because small retcon, like in those papers with the checks that you found, you also managed to find the, oh god, what would be the proper name for that? Like the not prospectors,
Prospecting is like the finding of minerals.
Okay, so basically like the
Like mineral samples that would say like, oh, there's this here.
or rather, no, I'm thinking about like the sketched map. Like someone did some, not really digging, but scanning, and they have not
Surveying.
reached there, but there are places noted in the ground. Okay, we have to start drilling downwards here to like reach the veins.
Nice. So there's completely untapped areas of this adamantine vein. That's good shit.
I mean, yeah, the mine has not been exploited. Of course, it's another whole different logistics matter of like actually getting to that, but that's a problem for the future.
That's later's problem.
Problem for the future because, of course, as pretty much all the time as you are like outside the city of Hope and the world of Eclipse, there is still like visible and felt presence of the undead. Still nothing that can threaten you, especially now at your current power level. But it is present and has to be like dispatched so that you are not. Either it is basically dispatched in a way like someone dispatches an irritating mosquito. They pose no danger to you, but you are aware that perhaps in bigger numbers, or even if in smaller numbers like this, like not everyone in City of Hope is as strong as you.
Yeah.
So,
especially with the noise and people that a mine needs and makes, it would be a bit of an attention attractor, even for the mindless undead, much less the ones that are actually sentient. So
well, that's definitely a fair and valid concern, especially if like you are veteran warriors and you can handle yourself like small amount of light, or sometimes even risking it without it. Imagine like large groups of people, of miners, they would absolutely like set up as much light as possible. Isn't how they brought up, and well, you know, any source of like large amount of light in the darkness acts as a like a lighthouse, like a beacon. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have for you for this location.
it's a bit fine though.
Very well. Mark it in the map, and we go.
I'll say also this. They do not offer details, but you do get a vibe, an idea, sensation that apart from like this single mine of adamantine, they had solid idea that this mountainous area is more than likely richer in minerals and other like precious stones and useful minerals that honestly, if not for the war, they would have spent years like scavenging or prospecting the area and setting up new mines. Yes, on that note, you begin trekking. Actually, that's the question. Who begins trekking and who just like doesn't give a fuck and just flies? Check and just check the party. Cool. I can't check it. Ah. The thing broke. Oh well. Never mind, sorry, I don't know why I thought that most of the party can fly.
I wish. I can give other people the gift of flight, but usually I
Ibram is like, I can fly?
don't worry about that. Yeah. With this handy spell, you too can fly.
Whoa! Loses my balance for a second.
Whoa!
Does a backflip.
10 minutes ain't that bad.
Hmm.
I think I'm the only one that can fly.
Yeah.
Ooh, Thunder really has issues here.
It is chugging.
Okay. Oof. Oh, that's... Okay. And as you venture into the mountainous area itself, the path is treacherous over the course of several pulses. Sometimes you simply do not have a path that was made by living humanoid hands in the past, not even remnants of
Ow.
it. You just have to pretty much try to find the least dangerous road amidst the rocks, the jagged cliffs and edges. Be mindful of the snow at certain places. Yeah, the environment for the most part is pretty. It is pretty difficult. And as you are traveling, it also basically, the deeper you go in, the more and more various, like whatever you can imagine as your characters being affected by, like small little things that basically keep you up, keep you tense, like the wind howling across the mountains that gives this very like weird howly like sound. Occasional like this feeling that you see, you can swear you see movement at the edge or corner of your vision, but then you look like prepared for action and there's nothing here.
Yeah, there's definitely multiple times when Dylan's head like whips around, or you can swear that he's mumbling to himself.
Essentially, whatever you can imagine that would keep your characters like tense, their nerves like firing up, is happening to your characters. Obviously, not everything at the same time. Like we are currently in this like, because we have a lot of ground to cover. The domain of madness is pretty big. So like this is happening over a course of multiple pulses, multiple days of pretty miserable and difficult journey throughout the mountainous area. However, I do have a question, and I can't really explain more without like giving it spoilery, but as we are traveling into the domain of madness, ruled by, well, you know, called the Yellow King, the Lord of Madness, does the party has any protection/defensive spells active on them?
Yes. Definitely. I have obviously like mage armor, which I just automatically cast. But I would also have thought shield on myself. Does anyone else want a funny shield for your brain? Anyone else want one of these?
I would kind of like funny brain for my shield.
Yeah? The person that he's hunting?
Yes, the
Here we
person who
go.
objectively needs to stay hidden.
So the two of us will both have thought shield. I'll twin spell it, so it's just one cast, but for two people.
Couldn't get a ring of mind shielding.
It lasts
Item.
for... I believe it lasts... Yeah, it lasts for 8 hours. It's not concentration, so...
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And if you see me move my spell slot shit around, it's because I am destroying stuff into sorcery points and then changing it into a different spell. So.
Okay, so you, Dolan, and Winona are being protected by it, correct?
Indeed.
Right? It's alright. Okay. As we are traveling, I will have to ask for a few checks. Basically, see how much knowledge you are able to acquire or important information about the domain of your enemy, and in how quickly or how slowly. Question is, does anyone from the active party members has survival?
Survival. Ibram actually might.
No.
I don't remember, one sec.
I have a single +1.
Even I have better than that.
Yeah, I have a +0.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with Pastor then. Pastor has +10.
Oh! They're doing pretty well then.
Yeah, I'm gonna be nice and just say that, yes, someone is assisting, so... I'm always forgetting, is it fucking Alt or Shift or Control for advantage? Okay, it's Alt. Okay, with an 18, that's to quote Chernobyl, not great, not terrible. It's in these circumstances, it is considered like pretty average. Like with assistance, Pastor is able to like generally lead you or find pathways that do not impose any additional dangers to you, but he's also unable to locate, spot anything that would act as a convenient shortcut. However, well, that gives you an opportunity to make some checks. What do you think your characters would have been using to, like, as you are like scavenging or rather scouting the area, this expansive mountain range that also, like, the deeper you go, the yellowish fog effect is actually like there's like some fog appearing just as a general vibe. Yeah, what sort of like skill or ability you think your characters would be using to like try to pry more information from this place, like from which vector you go for?
Well, survival can still work for shit like that, I believe. But I guess perception or investigation will make more sense.
Survival is like
Especially
for
if it's
finding path most like
There's
since
like
we
any
know-
bodies or corpses, I would be like using my medicine to investigate those.
Since we know the Yellow King to be someone who uses illusions, I'm probably looking to see if there's any, like... You know how, like, out of character, monsters can have, like, regional effects and abilities magically from
Yes.
being in an area?
yes.
I think that's what Dolan would be looking for. He'd be like, is there regional effects because there's this fog going on? Is this something that he's doing? Is it just a natural thing from him tearing his way into this place from some other realm? What's going on?
Yeah, that would definitely be a check. Probably Arcana, but I'm also willing to like allow something else.
It's my highest, so I'd like that one.
Okay. Yes. Concerning the apparent domain of the Yellow King, like the effects that you are undergoing, the fog and whatnot definitely seem like they are definitely are the expressions of its influence. However, it is right now it is like indirect influence. You realize just simply the matter of like the Yellow King, due to its power and having a domain over this place, just warps it more and more into his own image.
What a stinky guy. Damn.
And you
Just
do become aware that you basically thinking back over the like recent hours as you like continue journeying deeper and deeper in, that the closer you are getting to the source, the very center of its power, these effects can become stronger. And there might be more effects that are not active yet, but there might be active like if you get like relatively close.
closer.
So technically the safest way to traverse this domain is to like go through like an inner circle around the center of it, kind of avoiding wherever the center of this power is. So like
Seems like
wide
it,
berth
yes.
type? Alright, I'll communicate that.
Yeah. With a 20, I cannot really give like more specific details, like what the other yet unseen effects might be. That's for Dolan. Anyone else wanted to?
Yeah. I don't know if we're like coming across any like bodies or any dead things. I'd like to like maybe use my medicine check to like investigate the effects Strom might be having on them.
Okay. Yeah, you can make that roll. And Sasa, you think about like perception also works.
Yeah. Well, Dolan kind of figured out what I wanted to do, but I'll still do perception to see if I can spot any movement besides us. Which is probably not good. Yep. It's fine.
27 on the medicine check.
Or more like feel it and whatnot, because yeah, it's always a problem that I have to consider, that technically speaking this world is like, you know, full of darkness and most characters have like limited dark vision.
Yeah, I do not have dark vision, that's true.
Hey, welcome to the club.
But
Bless
you
you.
know, thank you, but you know, perception covers different senses as well, including hearing. Yeah, but sadly with a 5, the most thing that you hear or try to detect is the insistent desolate howling that you swear it's just a regular wind, obviously like affected by the structure of the mountains, but there are moments during this long journey where you can swear that wind is basically just thousands of tormented souls screaming in unison.
Gee. That wouldn't be too off brand.
Yeah, however, if you want to, like, you can try Arcana, but it's like for a different thing.
Sure.
There's still something that can be attempted.
25.
Right. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna do your roll Winona last.
That's fine.
Sasa, as you focus, you realize that, well, your regular senses, your eyes are completely of no help because you cannot see in the dark. Your hearing, well, the wind is blowing over it. So you lean back onto your magic, the feeling of magic, and while it is almost as if you are reaching your hand into a pool of oil, like not even oil, like this, like repugnant, miasmic slime that would send shudders throughout your entire body. But with a 25, you like internally grit your teeth and push onwards and just try to get a vibe of the ley lines. If there's any flow of magic throughout this area, and it is not exactly a risk-free, considering the domain that well, there's a lot of corruption and warped energy flowing around here. But you are a skilled enough user and you are able to avoid the most obvious dangers that have awaited you. And with 25, you are able to determine, while a little bit chaotic and without at first following any sort of rules, with enough focus you get a sense that there are still some ley lines, or rather the flow of magic that you can follow, that seems to center or focus on 3 points. One of them is, to the best of your understanding and ability, is in the very center of the domain. So you are suspecting probably something akin to Yellow King's home, air quotes.
Yeah, like the main place where he stays, pretty much.
It's penthouse apartment.
Yes. The other one is not that close to that center, but seems to be coming from one of probably the highest peak in the domain, like in this mountain range. Just a bit. And the unique bit of information about that is that you only feel one connection, or rather the connection between the center of power, so, well, Yellow King's penthouse, and that highest peak only goes in one direction, or rather there is
They share the same.
actually no, wait,
connection.
not one direction. The flow of energy is
Mhm.
kind of like not vibing. It almost seems to be separate, and it only goes between the Yellow King's home and that mountain peak.
Hmm.
The connection seems to be more enhanced. More enhanced there.
So what about the third point?
Yeah, and the third one. What is weird about that one is that it's pulsing.
It's alive.
That the closest impression that you get is of well, at first you were gonna say beating heartbeat, like an alive place, but it's not exactly the same. It's I'm trying to figure out how the character Fluffwise will understand. I'm not sure how to translate it to character knowledge, but I'm basically thinking of an expression of the electrical pulses in your brain.
Like neurons.
Yes, and with a 25, actually the keyword I'm gonna give you for that third place is broadcast.
Uh-oh.
Do we
Calling his
suddenly
friends
find
away?
like a radio station?
Oh, it's not a radio station.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking like a joke. Like a joke of just going around and we found an abandoned radio station like in Fallout games.
Reminds
Alright.
me of like the beginning of like The Thing when they get the radio call
Mm.
about the helicopter. And they're like,
Mm.
look, fucking killed a dog. And they're
Mhm.
like, but it's a dog, Smile. Just a dog.
Barely understand them because they're it's like, no, they're Norwegian, not Dutch.
What the dog do?
Spreading eldritch terror. That is not good. You should never give an eldritch being any sort of communication device. Not to be trusted.
Who wants to go blow up the broadcast?
That's gonna be that.
Yeah, that seems
Sorry.
like that should be our priority now.
Apologies, I should have done this earlier. I just fucking forgot.
Yeah, no worries.
Where would it be the highest? Let's see. North, northeast, southeast. Okay. Actually, sense. On the other hand, it wouldn't be that far away. S- That, and then no, that makes sense. Actually, small adjustment to the description. I mean, you still know that this is basically your looking seat of power, like slash airport's home. But the reason why Sasa is able to determine it is also because the flow of energy, the corrupted ley lines seem to converge in that spot, making it sort of a nexus.
Oh, that's
I mean,
not good.
I mean, not the ley lines of the entire fucking world, but like the domain ones.
Okay, that's
No,
less
yeah.
bad.
It's still
I was
bad
like,
though.
oh, there's like a node of air or some shit over there. He's about to fucking bring down this whole area of the earth. Terrifying. Still terrifying.
Alright, calm down. It's not that bad yet.
You're right. It's not
I
as
am-
bad as the Yellow King I have in my campaign, but he could
Yeah.
get there.
I am also scared. Shivers with
Yeah?
halberd out, ready to strike at a moment's notice.
I'm not scared, guys. Has Halberd like off of his back in his hands.
So I'm gonna
Yeah,
put
I'm not
you,
scared. I'm not spookied.
Here.
I'm not spooked. I'm
Yeah.
spook in.
You were like generally approaching like from, you know, this area, from this vector. Like I'm not determining where exactly you are in the domain, because right now we are like this like open-ended exploration area, and time is a little bit flexible. But with that 25, you are able to, combined with the earlier knowledge that you have like a solid idea where exactly within the domain you have those like three places of interest. And to be fair, like you don't need to give me an answer now, but if you think that the Yellow King would have like more places of interest, rather locations that would make sense for him to have as an expression of his power, and also something that could be technically targeted to weaken him, then I'm always open to the ideas. I thought that I had idea for the three, and I think that the three at least give like some options to consider. But yeah, I
At the
believe
very
that's...
least,
Sorry, go
out of
ahead.
all the different, I said at the very least, out of all the different old ones, this is the only old one that doesn't seek to kill everyone. He's just like, I just want to make everyone a little fucking crazy. It's fun. It's spicy.
Yeah, make everyone a little crazy for the fun.
Everyone else is like, fucking bow down.
This is when like, yeah. Speaking of making somebody crazy, I think Stan has the most insanities.
Sure.
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 I don't like that statement from you.
You'll never know.
And Winona, with that 27 on your medicine, deeper in with another few pulses passing by, you're on the lookout for any signs of life that existed here in like recent years / like before the war happened. At first, your group is not exactly doesn't meet success, apart from the creatures of the night that start to display a little bit more. I'm not gonna say intelligence, but guidance. And they do not aimlessly shamble about. They seem to be starting to do something akin to patrols, like converging into like groups and squads, and just like slowly trekking throughout the mountainous paths. However, with 27, you are finally lucky, and you managed to spot partially buried beneath a layer of snow body, which is not exactly the freshest, but the cold and snow managed to preserve it a little bit more. And it is a body of a humanoid, well, it can be human, it can be like other humanoid, like living race, not an undead.
Yeah.
And with a 27, well, you are able to determine quite a few things. The cause of death, like you are able to know it, but it is. Oh, someone dropped. No, Cap dropped. Oh, he also dropped from Foundry, so his internet might have went poo-poo.
Damn.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rip in pieces.
Ah, computer crash. I don't know why he wrote that in Warhammer chat, but okay.
He probably just thought he was in the right chat when he was not.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the physical cause of death is like of less importance. Like Winona obviously knows it. Whatever you think would make sense, like Winona figures it out. However, with 27, Winona is able to determine, and I'm honestly I don't care if normally that would not be possible. But Winona gleams like insight or knowledge about, or rather clues about, like mental state of the of this deceased individual. In short, indicating that they most likely, more likely than not, were quite disturbed, as in mentally disturbed, before their death. I imagine something along the lines of like self-inflicted like slashing wounds on their like arms, like attempts to carve like symbols on their like body parts. The facial expression itself, that's it's less of a fear and more of a like someone being in the middle of a manic episode.
You're just being like, been there, buddy.
Yep.
I know how it feels.
Yeah. Driven
And actually,
mad.
that one body turns out to be a breadcrumb that, not far off, actually it's like a matter of a few minutes as you go over like the barely stable path over the peak, and you come across the following no, not this, fucking hell. Come on, Foundry.
It is chugging.
Yeah, it was sometimes problematic in the past, but like today it's especially shitty.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow, now it's shitty.
And by the way, as we're all waiting for the fucking page to load, sadly this is not something I can do. Captain, do you think Ibrahim would have been doing anything like during the journey, like trying
he's
to find a vector to like gather more information, or not really?
Thought out first before I interrupt.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was letting you because you said you were starting to say something and I cut you off.
No. I mean, basically the question is like, as the other players did, do you think that Ibrahim would have a way, or would you try to like a way, means of like gleaming more information? If not, that's fine. You can also like.
I mean-
can be like focusing on something else.
Based on his very vague backstory, which is he was in a war as a child soldier. I'm assuming he's been a lot of places. Maybe he could get a history off with his -1 due to his head trauma.
Well, I don't think it loaded. Fucking hell. Okay. Now it loaded.
That's my thought. That's not necessarily Ibram could. There's not much Ibram would be able to accomplish in the way of like information, unless I wanted to reach out in a dream to the Lord of Might.
I mean, okay, so if not getting information, then perhaps running security. Although Ibram is not exactly the stealthiest of individuals.
Security doesn't have to be stealthy. Security has to be
Yeah.
intimidating.
Like dealing with your like martial prowess. Actually, Ibrahim, give me perception. And you can give me with advantage.
Ibram's getting a perception roll? Are you joking? That's amazing. He's not very perceptive.
You have advantage, remember?
Clicks advantage. Oh my gosh, I got a 19 on which adds up to a 25.
Change the... Okay, so... Still here. Still here. Still here. Still here. And no stuff here. So I just checked from the active party members, active characters, no one has stealth as proficient skill.
Yeah, nobody took rogue.
No.
Nobody went ranger or rogue. I was thinking about going ranger, but then it would be I snipe really hard from the back one time.
Okay, so with that 25, I'm gonna say it's not a case of you avoiding like enemies, but combined with the previous successes, it's more akin of like you, Ibram with. Also, sorry, remind me, Cap. Doesn't Ibram has something that gives him like advantage on initiative, like something weapon of warning or something?
Yeah, weapon of warning. Yes, I do. I have a weapon of warning longbow.
Yes, so essentially combining that skill with the equipment that you have, I imagine like Ibram's security role is that it's not about avoiding enemies because your party is not stealthy.
Oh no.
It's
Looks at party stealth? Nah.
it's basically making sure you act first and you come down upon the whatever unfortunate enemy patrol is crossing
That's
your
a
path.
pretty
And basically trying to eliminate them as quickly as possible. And with 25, you are able to notice more likely here, or rather like feel with your instinct instead of like seeing, but yeah, you detect, for lack of a better word, the incoming danger early enough that, yes,
guys I detect.
the party is not inconvenienced.
I can definitely get behind that. That's definitely seems like Ibram's MO.
And with the like type of enemies that you are dealing, right now, the vibe you are getting that the majority of foes that you are facing are like lesser aberrations. So, well, the gibbering mouthers that you have faced the first time Evil King showed up, but also chulls and other, well, aberrations, but lesser creatures, not something that can pose significant danger to you, even if they're like more of them,
Mhm.
but yeah, they are like glow of a CR. There are some undead within their ranks, and those are always branded.
Mhm.
The symbol is not glowing, but I don't know if you remember that Nightwalker.
I do.
That was like had this like glowing symbol of the Yellow King carved on
Yes.
its forehead. Yes, the other undead are also like branded in this way, but the symbol is just like there. It's not like glowing. Doesn't seem to have like any power to it. It's just there, marking the owner of this creature.
Ah.
Like a paranoid cattle farmer. He's just branding everyone. Kind of weird.
But yeah, it's and as I mentioned before, like you also like confirm that they do display, well, not enhanced intelligence on individual level, but it's more likely like also a matter of regional effects that those under the sway and command of the Yellow King, they do not shamble around individually. They like form up, gather in like squads and groups. Good news is for the players, like characters guess it one way or the other, but for the players, at least in this distance, at least for now, the Yellow King doesn't have constant like contact with all of his minions.
Which is good news, everybody. Guys, the Yellow King doesn't have constant contact with his minions.
I wouldn't say that's something to celebrate.
What?
I wouldn't say that's something to celebrate.
At
Why
least-
not?
If he has any contact with any of his minions, that he can just be like, I'm gonna look through your eyes now. Like, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
You tell me this man walking around with like 20, 30, 100 homunculi just chilling? Fucked up. Fucked up.
And yes, as you... The party comes across a village, a mountainous village that doesn't look... Obviously the place has seen better days, that there are plenty of signs that the buildings are not being maintained. There is, moss growing on the wooden walls. Just in general, plenty of signs that the place is not being maintained, as I mentioned. However, even from a distance, you can say that this place is not abandoned. There are people living here. In some of the
Like-
windows, you do notice it's faint, but there is a glow of light. But you also are able to tell that it's not the light that you have in your city. It's not that. It's not the warm, the protective kind.
I don't like this at all.
Don't like that at all.
Okay.
Nobody likes that. Pops up in the top right.
And because there are some, sources of light, you can spot a few more details, even from a little bit of distance. There is some trash, like decaying leftovers, just strewn, thrown about. Like in a corner here or there, you see more or less badly decaying body. That seems to be freshly diseased. And in a brief moment when there is no howling wind,
Oh,
the most you hear in terms of sounds is this almost like a chittering, like deranged, like whispering, combined with occasional like demented chuckle slash laughter.
Pleasant to live.
I was gonna say that I could cast Arcane Eye to check out Village, but I don't think Dolan would be able to keep concentration right now.
No.
Not really.
Okay, so we're not very stealthy. Is there any way any of us can check what's going on besides Arcane Eye?
I don't think I have anything for this.
It's just how easy will it be if we get to confront things, and how easy will it be to escape if we have to escape from things?
Check something.
Yeah, I don't
No?
think for this.
I was gonna see if Tiny Hut can stop sound. It cannot. And I think from Dolan's already, like his insanity effect, it would not be possible for him to keep concentration on that for like an hour.
Alright.
What about your cube house?
Cube house does not. It's just a cube house. I mean, it's a huge fortress, but it's also.
I'm a cube house.
It has like arrow slits to the outside that would allow sound in.
Well, we could just. Oh, I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't
So
like
it's
this
just
at
like-
all.
Okay, I'm gonna throw you one more thing. As you keep watch, even though you do not have like proficiency in stealth, but I more likely assume that you do not stand in the very open, and just like try to crouch and.
Imagine we all have the sense to like scatter off the road into like the ditch or
Yeah, like
whatever.
behind the rocks or something like that, and you do
Yeah.
spot not too long afterwards a group emerging from the darkness, the silhouettes becoming more prominent and visible, and you see the towering branded undead with a bunch of smaller creatures like humanoids, but you can easily see the signs of mutation on their faces on the account of multiple tentacles growing from it. And you see, like, let's say that this is, yeah, 5 of those, like, cloaked zealots. That's the best vibe you are getting. And they are carrying, a few of them are carrying leather bags. And as they reach the center of this village, did this one speak? No. One of the cloaked humanoids steps up and give me. I need to type this out. And not too long.
Stop. You just take. Oh.
And not too long after it says it, the wooden creaky doors from some of those houses open, and coming from it, you see other humanoids. Some of them like slouching, some of them hunched over, keeping their hands to themselves, like twitching oddly from time to time, muttering something to themselves. Some of them almost near completely bare, apart from a part of trousers with sacrificial-like weird bloody carvings self-inflicted upon their bodies. In short, you see that pretty much everyone in this village is basically a bunch of deranged lunatics that should be just locked in an asylum.
Oh my god, we're at the mental hospital.
And there's a lot saying that the others like throw those leather bags in the middle, and also one of it like spills open, like spilling its contents, and from a distance it does look like meat, not the freshest kind, but if anyone wants to roll, not cooking. I mean, if someone had cooking specifically, that would work, but like other than that, most likely perception or nature.
Well, even if I'd used nature, which is higher for me, it still would have only been like a +2, so okay.
Alright, what was our two options? Perception and
Nature.
Or nature.
Oh my god, go fuck yourself.
Yay.
Yikers.
What are we rolling? My headset cut out.
Perception or nature.
Nature.
Come on, perception. Don't fail me now.
Do I need to roll perception then? Yes. It's okay, Dolan pats you on the head. We know your eyes aren't very good in your old age.
He fucking jumps when you touch him.
No, Dolan, this is not good for your heart.
The fuck up.
Okay, Winona and Ibrahim, with those results, you know this is not an animal meat.
Alright. Would you tell us that? Obviously.
I mean,
Ask
yeah, I'll tell you what's going on. I keep you guys updated.
Yeah, Seth is like, I don't think I want to be near this anymore.
No,
And-
I think we need to move on as soon
And you
as
also
possible.
you can also spot that it's not fresh. Like you would not be surprised if some of the pieces are like infested with maggots.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe let's leave. Look, let's.
Yeah, who bots living here?
And when they like throw it that and see as the deranged inhabitants of this village, not undead, they are not undead or aberrations, they are actually living humanoids, they just fucking insane. The group of the mutated zealots led by the silent nightwalker just moves away and disappears again into the darkness.
Alright, time for us to fucking leave.
Grabs you by the shoulder. We're not leaving quite yet.
I'm leaving. Bye.
I only have so many hands.
Adios.
We should pull out. This is dangerous.
That's what she said.
If I hear any movement, I'm definitely gonna be casting like fog cloud subtly, because I can do it without the verbal components.
Oh yeah, subtle cast.
And we can just try and hide on that
That's a good
until
idea.
things move.
Yeah, I will say that
Sorry,
from what you are seeing, yes.
I just sneezed.
Ah, okay. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
It's okay.
So yeah, from the way those deranged inhabitants looked, like they would not pose any challenge whatsoever to you. And I do want to give you like one chance to see if you can figure this out. Hold on. Give me a moment. So you can, anyone in the party, if you want, you can give me either Arcana or History.
Would they give different things?
No, the aim is for the same end goal.
It's
Alright. Yeah, with a 15 and 22, especially combining that with the previous success on the ley lines that was ahead, you do not have much trouble connecting the dots and figuring out why still living humans/humanoids exist within the domain of madness, especially after seeing the state they are in. They are a food source.
They are cattle.
They are a food source. And just jumping a little bit in the future, the party, as during multiple pulses as your journey, you'll be journeying more throughout the domain of madness. This is not the only village full of isolated. This is not only an isolated village full of deranged lunatics,
the cattle wolves.
victims of the Yellow King. There is quite a few of them. They are not large, like at most you are guessing that they have like, dozen, 2 dozen of inhabitants. But they are there, and they are a food source. And burning that place to the ground and destroying it would pose no challenge whatsoever to you. And while they are a food source, you also have a feeling that it would only like mildly inconvenience the Yellow King.
Inconvenient.
You'd want to make a more major dent. Better to go to the source.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd prefer to stay as low a profile as possible while we're in this territory until we're ready.
I mean, we could always try to figure out what the broadcasting is. Like,
Yeah, I think we should
go-
focus on that, try and find, possibly stop this broadcast.
Okay, so the way I'm getting is that the general vibe for like in case the party comes across more places like this, the operating procedure is to like avoid, remain in cover if possible, like don't bother with the small fries.
Mhm. Yeah. They're small fry. We don't need to.
Okay.
We don't need to take out every minor camp we come across.
Okay. So okay, so as I mentioned, this would be like a shorter session. So from the places of interest, where do you think your party would be going first?
I mean, I still want to figure out what the broadcast is.
Yeah, I think that broadcast, where the broadcast is coming from.
Get a ranged scope on that.
Mhm.
He's not attacking it, at least, figuring out what it
Yeah.
is.
We're gonna end up being like fucking what's his name? Odysseus and the Sirens, and he's like, put wax in your ears.
Shove
Okay,
wax in my
so-
ears.
Actually, yeah, as an ending part, because I can give you this information, like I don't have the map prepared, but I can give you this information as you approach this area, like many days later, because that's gonna be quite a trek for you, especially wanting to avoid the getting too close to the Yellow King's seat of power. But as you approach, and for simplicity's sake, manage to find like a good vantage point, because this broadcasting signal location is not on a mountain peak. It's still in a mountainous area, but it's, well, you have plenty of spots to pick up from. From outside, you spot I mean, it's not an actual radio. You do not see advanced machinery anywhere. But you can give me, anyone can attempt it if they want to. You can give me a religion check.
Excuse me. Ibram suddenly becomes a practicing religious man.
It's my religion.
And if people
My religion? Not very strong. I lack faith still. The Catholic Church says to do 5 Hail Marys and then put extra tithe in the offering box.
Feels nice when Winona rolls well during a session.
I know, right?
Okay. So at 20, Winona and Dolan, with those results, you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the somewhat destroyed, I mean still standing, but obviously seeing better day structure, has been a temple in the past. But now it has been corrupted and twisted for the purposes of the Yellow King. location, enhancing the spread of its poison, the obedience, and insanity. Oh, speaking of insanity, so Dolan and who were else?
Winona.
And Winona, because yeah, you got the mind thought,
I'm shielding.
the mind shield. You can make sanity saving throw with advantage. Everyone else just rolls flat.
Can I use my flash of genius for this?
Flash of Genius gives like how much?
So who's all making a sanity
5.
saving throw? Everyone?
Everyone.
Yep.
But you are making it flat, Ibram, because you get mind shield. Okay, Flash of Genius would help, yes.
So I would like to use it.
Okay. Okay, Ibram. 7.
Absolutely failed.
7. Let's. Something. Nope. I'm gonna say, in terms of like time, by the time you reach the corrupted temple, there's still like around 20 hours left on that effect.
Definitely avoiding combat as much as possible.
And you do see that, and also one more, not suggestion, but clue that this is a place of importance. There is definitely movement within that corrupted temple. At least from the outside, from your visual perspective, from the outside, nothing that seems out of your ballpark.
Alright,
But well,
hear me out.
or no, but yeah.
I have a candle. Can I melt a little bit of the candle and put it in my ears so I can then cast a spell?
Right.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna cast Arcane Eye. And send it up there. Once we're within like 15-20 minutes of it.
Okay.
Because it lasts an hour.
Okay. So this. So yeah, we're gonna handle the spying from Arcane Eye and then the potential consequences from that this time. Okay,
Yeah, I'm ready to go more insane.
let's go over the.
Let's spin the wheel.
Actually, I wonder
Wait.
if we should go with the questions because.
You want to do a two-parter again? It'll be
Yeah.
2 shorter sessions.
I
Yeah,
feel like we didn't do much today.
Yeah, I'd rather do a two-parter.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright.
Right. A bounce. Well,
Oh.
yeah. Sorry if the
Thank you.
brain was scattered, but
It's fine.
You're okay.
No worries.
we managed
Thanks
to pull
for
through.
hosting the session.
Yeah.
Right.
Until
Thank you
next
for
week.
participating, and yeah.
And next week
hopefully.
we enjoy.
Bye.